And now I shall request President of NAVBD, Professor A.P. Das, to please keep his address for all of you.
Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, then Law, Information and Public Relations, Mr. Pratap Jainaji, Mr. P.K. Mahendra, Commissioner cum Secretary, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Orissa, Honorable Professor Ganguly, former Director General ICMR and President JIPMR, Vice Presidents Dr. Neena and Dr. Sharma, Dr. Sanghavitra, Director of the Institute, Dr. Ranjit, Secretary, and Dr. Madhusmita Baur, the Organizing Secretary. Good evening, Namaste, Vanakkam. It is my proud privilege to be here today among you to speak few words as the President of the Academy. Well, I am given 5 minutes, but I think I will complete my remarks in 4 minutes. You know there are many vector-borne diseases, most important vector-borne diseases prevalent in India. As we know, malaria, lymphatic filariasis, visceral leishmaniasis, dengue, chikungunya. These are the diseases most important, and stock typhus is coming up. They are all caused by different pathogens, some by parasites, some by viruses, some by bacteria. But they have a common denominator that they are all transmitted by vectors. So vector-borne diseases account for 17% of all infectious diseases of the world. And there are 7 lakh deaths annually due to vector-borne diseases. That is why it is said there are small bites and big threat. As we know of today, according to estimates by WHO, more than 3.9 billion people are at the risk of dengue in 128 countries, and with 96 million cases estimated per year. The distribution of vector-borne diseases is determined by a complex demographic, environmental, and social factors. We know that mosquitoes, like other insects, are cold-blooded and ectothermic. They cannot regulate their body temperature. Whatever the environmental temperature is their body temperature. That is why it is said that all vector-borne diseases are climate sensitive. Therefore, climate change and global warming has a tremendous effect on all vector-borne diseases. In addition to transmitting diseases, vectors cause intolerable annoyance. Almost everyone has had an unpleasant experience of being bitten by a mosquito. Mosquito bites can cause skin irritations through an allergic reaction to the mosquito saliva. We know that each mosquito sucks the blood, takes the blood of amount equal to its body weight. So it is published somewhere that one mosquito during one bite can take 1.80 microliter of blood of a human being. Please imagine, if one mosquito bites one person per night, how many blood donations will be there for the mosquitoes by human beings? And I think in a democratic country, in spite of controlling the diseases, we have a right to sleep without a mosquito bite. Therefore, in 25 years back, some like-minded scientists, I think 13 like-minded scientists, started the National National Academy of Vector-borne Diseases to have exchange of ideas, to have to update everybody about the field of vector-borne diseases and vectors, about the research what is being done. The recent research shows that some people are attracted more by the mosquitoes than others. Recent research has shown that number one, it depends upon the lysine content of the skin, and number two, the blood group. They say if you have a O blood group, you are more susceptible to mosquito bites than any other blood. And also, the color has an important factor. There are several factors to attract mosquitoes. The best method to as a preventive measure for vector-borne diseases, it prevents the mosquito bites. So we say small bite, big threat. Ronald Ross, when he discovered the involvement of mosquitoes in transmission of malaria on 20th August 1898, he recommended that time prevention is best, better than cure. And we are doing the same thing. I remember one thing, I will take only 30 seconds now. 2008, the regional director of the Southeast Asia region of WHO, Samlip Dian Bang Chang, visited Odisha with the support of NAVBD and I think National Academy of Vector-borne Diseases. At that time, Nina was there and he came and he had meetings with the then Health Secretary. If I am not wrong, Mr. Chinmay Basu was the Health Secretary at that time. The Chief Secretary, Mr. Rajat Tripathi, and the Chief Minister, the present Chief Minister. You will not imagine, everybody discussing with him, talked about malaria. Malaria was so rampant in Odisha. Then, after going back, Dr. Samli, he just passed an order. There should be an expert consultation about malaria situation in Odisha as soon as possible. Then there was an expert consultation. I think it was attended by Mr. Chinmay Basu, the entire session, and they gave some recommendation. LLIN should be provided to everybody, scaling up of LLIN and intensifying the IRS. And thanks to Dr. Madan Pradhan, who has been doing it now, and who is Odisha has taken as an example by the World Health Organization for tremendous decrease in malaria cases. With this I conclude. Thank you very much.
Now, Prestigious Hanson Award goes to Dr. P.K. Srivastava, ex-Additional Director of NAVBD. This award is given to any active researchers who have made significant contributions in the field of vector control and disease control, particularly to any member countries.
Dr. P.K. Srivastava